Okay, this is probably one of the most significant posts that we've had in a long time because this has to do with the pack probabilities. And for a lot of people, these odds were pretty much already well known, but now we get them in exact numbers directly from EA. And the advantage to that is that we can do these fancy flowcharts and actually get the exact numbers and actually know exactly what we're getting when we buy packs. Now, the reason why they're doing this is, well, because there's been some things going on with Apple requiring games with loot box to disclose odds. Then there also is issues in China making laws saying that games have to disclose odds, and Hawaii tried to do it, but I believe that fell apart and it didn't go through. But this is kind of all in response to what happened with EA and Battlefront 2 and loot boxes. And the loophole has been, well, you buy crystals and then with money, and then with the crystals, you buy the cards or the packs. And so that separation between the money and the actual packs kind of was stalled this from happening until now, even though Apple was requiring that. And I think they were trying to sort out exactly what Apple wanted, and this is a result of it, and I think it's good. Now, I'm just going to skip to what I think is the best part of the post, which they talk about right here. There are many different packs and packs of types in Galaxy of Heroes, many of which have different probabilities. However, there are no dynamic odds. We don't change pack probabilities or outcomes based on any player behavior or criteria. And I think this is huge because in Marvel Contest of Champions, people were 100% convinced that crystal drop rates, character drop rates, was solely dependent on your purchase history and your player thing. And I really am excited to read right here on this post that they do not have dynamic odds and that the odds are exactly the same for everyone. So let's just go to the top and read the post because I think this is a very pro-consumer move. I think it's a great thing. I'm not really sure if EA is thrilled that we're going to now be able to data crunch all of these numbers. Says CG Carey, nice lady. In Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, one of our key objectives has been for players to fulfill their ultimate Star Wars fantasy by collecting characters from different Star Wars eras to master the galaxy. However, we know players like to play the games in different ways. Some are more focused on competition, some more on the collection components. Some guilds require certain rosters and squads to master the different raids, while others are seeking new yet undiscovered mechanics by different squad makeups. And this is actually very true. People play the game for different reasons. Some people are collectors, some people are competitive. So everybody's got kind of like a different focus on the game. And actually, I think this is why the game is very successful. All of these strategies work, and for players to have the best experience, it's important to know what you need and how you might obtain it. This will now be much easier to figure out with the pack probabilities information combined with the character release cadence and a number of community tools. Pack probabilities, which can help aid you in making decisions about what to go for and when. Probability overview. We've been working to put together information on pack probabilities across all these different packs in the stores and describe it as clearly as possible, along with sharing the specifics of our pack probabilities and some things we've updated along the way. We'd like to provide additional understanding around how our packs work overall. And I personally would give credit to Apple and iTunes for this change being made. That's just my feeling on this. If you'd like to skip straight to the disclosure page, it's available here, and I'll show that here for a little bit. And it'll be a direct link in the details page for every crystal pack in the store after our TU13 client update, which I think is being rolled out very soon. And if I'm going to guess, I'm going to have to make like 5 videos about that T13 client update. I'm just saying. If you'd like to have more specific information about additional changes we have made, please read on. Now, you can click right here on the screen inside of the game, and it'll take you to the pack probability PDF, which I will show here a little bit later in the video. This has always been the same. I think we know how this works. I read this part about no dynamic odds. That is huge. because I don't know how they would disclose it if they had dynamic odds. I never suspected that they had dynamic odds. A lot of other people did, but I never did on this game. You'll get something of value in every pack. However, as many of you are aware, some of our packs have low probabilities for a large amount of character ship shard blueprints. It's actually 1 in 1,000, which is not horrific, really. I mean, it's not a 1 in a million. 1 in 1,000 is not great, but it's 1 in 1,000. For example, a single character Marquee pack will most likely have a net between 5 and 7 shards, more often 7. And we've been saying for this for a long time that it's a little bit better than 7. It's really close to 7. And actually, someone on Reddit did the exact math on how many you get per pack and the exact cost of a Marquee character. I'm just going to clue you in. It's $300. A Marquee character on average costs $300, a little less than $300. And the shard rates, I think, is 7 point something, and we'll look at the exact post. A big shout out to everybody on Reddit. These pack probabilities are not a guarantee of outcome. Every time you open a pack is an independent event. Getting high shard count in one pack does not mean you will definitely get a low count in the next pack. Probably reset with every pack. Yes, that's true. Now, I was just thinking about the guy that was like 10 shards away from getting 7 stars and he got the 330 drop. I don't know why that's funny to me, but that's just like completely ironic to me. Or just like bad luck, or I don't know. It all goes to the shard shop. Oh my God. We've taken this opportunity to prove the way a few of our packs work. As the game has evolved, we found that some of the previous designs needed an overhaul. As an example, we're doing away with the new and old character ship distinctions because it's a bit outdated and becomes excessively complicated the more items we have in the game. The probability of getting any one character ship within a pack will be equal across all character ships in a pack. Oh, this is a big deal because at one time, like in Chromium packs, you had a much higher chance of getting like Nihilus at one point, and we made videos about it. It's like, oh man, you can get Nihilus easily this way because the drop rates are huge. And they're saying they're going to get rid of that. Any future changes, the pack probabilities will be updated on the website. Thank you. And we will make sure to draw your attention to these changes via the patch notes. Okay. Anyways, this is all very good, right? This is a good thing, and we're just going to go through some of the other things that I was talking about. Apple now requires, we've got China, we've got Hawaii. Here are the actual odds, and you can see right here, and this is kind of interesting that it's like 1 in 1,000 to get 330, but the odds of getting 230 are much worse. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting, and you can see that most of the time it pulls 7 Marquee packs, and so on. And they're all listed right here, and everybody can look at that and do the data crunching, just like some of the awesome people on Reddit have already done. This Reddit post here is amazing, and I got to give a shout out to Sergeant McPass. It says it's 47K crystals or $300 per Marquee character, and then he did the math right here in a Google spreadsheet, right? This is awesome. Basically, he did all the math. Average total cost is $298 for a single Marquee character. Average shard per pack is 7.76. Yeah, this is going to be all gobbledygook for a lot of people, reading all these numbers and being able to like, what does it mean to me? Well, you know, other people make the spreadsheets and do all the math, which I am extremely grateful for everybody on Reddit that number crunched all these things and put it into spreadsheets so that I can say, okay, this is what it costs. $298 for a Marquee character. And then, you know, everybody can make their own decision on whether that's a good value or not. You know, I think a lot of people view this game as a hobby, and they get a lot of time and value and satisfaction out of playing this game. And then other people would say, for $298, I can buy, you know, several AAA, you know, console titles, or even almost a PlayStation for that amount of money. And everybody has a different value system, and I don't think that's the point. I think the point is that now we know what the math is. We're going to be able to number crunch all of this stuff, and we're going to be able to see if it makes a sense to each individual, because I'm not going to shame anybody for buying these because they see it's a hobby. And that's really what this game is for a lot of people. It's a hobby. But if I count the amount of hours that I played this game and how much fun I've had playing this game, and I break it down over 3 years on how much that is per month or how much that is per hour, I think video games are an insanely high value. And then there's tons of people that have spent no money in this game or very little money, and they get a huge amount of value. So I think this is just good for everybody. because now if I'm going to buy like those Omega packs, I know those Omega packs are popular. Let's take a look at that. So like the Mega packs right here, it looks like there's a 95% chance to get 20 and a 95% chance to get 9 of the Megas and 20 of the purples. A lot of people buy those, and yes, there's a 5% chance of getting the higher number, but now you can say, hey, is this worth it? As opposed to doing the 200 crystal refresh to get 1 Omega, then you can make a decision for yourself. And I think that is the best thing I can say about this post, is it allows everybody to decide for themselves. All right, let me know what you think in the comments section. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming.